And here we go again. Some more SHEDEUR Sanders from the last day of OTAs. They're about to take a little bit of a break before they get into mandatory minicamp, but I wanted to drop one more video to show you everything that you need to know about SHEDEUR Sanders, from how he looked in this week's OTA practices, from some outside sources, what they're thinking about the QB battle, and then overall, we're going to listen to what Tommy Rees, the offensive coordinator for the Browns, had to say. We got some really big time news, and first of all, I wanted to break down this play. So right here, they're in a drill called scramble drill, right? We're trying to get outside the pocket and make things happen, right? So again, it's just 7-on-7s. We're going through our routes with no pass rush. Boom, we're going to scramble out. Look at this throw here to the running back, right? Leads him to that front pylon away from the DB. This is a great throw here by SHEDEUR. Pump fakes left, rolls out right, leads him forward. Easy touchdown for the running back. I believe that's Pierre Strong. You guys can let me know if I'm wrong in the comments down below. But again, SHEDEUR Sanders is proving a lot of people wrong right now. Let's just dive right into the video.
So let's break this down. She really didn't say nothing groundbreaking. She said there's thought process.
She said there's a chance.
There's a chance. 100%. People think there's a chance that, or there's 100% chance that this man can be the starting quarterback. Now, she didn't say week 1.
No.
She didn't say by week 8. She didn't even say this year. To be a franchise quarterback, that means you're on the roster. They feel that you have the prerequisite skills that you can be a franchise quarterback. I don't think people anywhere, even SHEDEUR Sanders detractors, would argue with that too much. They've seen that he can throw the ball and he has some skill set. It's just all about when he's going to get an opportunity to play. Right now, he's not receiving the first team reps, which is not to say that he's not going to be getting them or are getting them behind closed doors. But I think that this is a no-brainer. Like, why would the Cleveland Browns wouldn't have, if they didn't think that he was going to be a guy that possibly could be a franchise quarterback, why draft him after you took Dillon Gabriel? You should have just rolled with Dillon Gabriel and said, all right, well, we cool what we got. The reason they went and moved up to take him was for the fact that a lot of people still believe that he had first, second round talent. He was one of the best quarterbacks in this draft.
Now, this is what kind of got me. That last clip we just watched, we kind of heard, him talk about the reporter for the Browns, I believe Kimberly Martin, if I'm not mistaken, came out and said there's people in this building that 100% believe that SHEDEUR Sanders could be the starter at some point in time. We don't know exactly when. And again, as we're covering this Browns OTA period, all the 11-on-11s and all the 7-on-7s, I think it is clear as day that SHEDEUR Sanders has looked really good. Now, can I confidently say he's been the best quarterback? No, only because I have not seen all of Kenny Pickett's highlights, all of Joe Flacco's, all of Dillon Gabriel's. Yes, they're showing a lot of SHEDEUR Sanders, and I love it. I think it's amazing. I think SHEDEUR Sanders looks really, really good. And I would be surprised if anyone else looks better right now, because what we've seen has been huge. He just looks extremely accurate, and that's the one thing I look for in a quarterback: accuracy. Can we get the football where it needs to be? So that is one thing I like. I think he already has a really good understanding of the knowledge of the game, right? The IQ that you need to play the quarterback position. Obviously, he's done a lot of work with Tom Brady. He's learned a lot from Tom Brady. And I honestly believe that his mind for the game is a lot better than a lot of the quarterbacks that came into this draft. Cam Ward is really good as well. But SHEDEUR Sanders understands football. He understands how to read a defense. And again, you're going to see that during preseason. We're going to break down all of that throughout this year's preseason with some film analysis. So don't worry. We got you guys covered. Even if it looks bad, we're still going to cover SHEDEUR Sanders. So I'm not someone that is, going to hammer in SHEDEUR. I'm going to keep it as real as possible. And from what I've seen, SHEDEUR Sanders looks really good, man. In these 11-on-11s and these 7-on-7s, there was only one throw that I really questioned. Only one throw I really questioned, but this one was not one of them. He threw a dime back of the end zone. Looked like a touchdown. I think the guy's foot was on the line. But overall, man, I'm telling you, SHEDEUR Sanders is a lot better than all the haters are really saying, man. A lot of people just really want to prey on his downfall, and I don't understand why.
I think that SHEDEUR Sanders is actually going to end up earning the job, but it's going to be tough because he's a fifth-round pick, and reps are going to be very limited in practice. So he's going to have to get in there, probably do some extra work. But the way I look at it, I mean, Flacco's the old dude. He's the guy that at least is, familiar with what he can do. So he's the vet. He'll go in there and probably be QB1 at first, and then let the two youngsters battle it out, right? Kenny Pickett, I think we all know who he is. So, okay, you could throw him in the mix if you want to, but I think it really boils down to who has more juice, Dillon Gabriel or SHEDEUR Sanders. And I think it's SHEDEUR. I've thought that since day one. I'm surprised that he dropped to round 5, but you know how that goes. So there you go. I think that the Browns are in a really good situation with their quarterbacks.
All right, really quickly, we're going to get way more into this, and I do want to show you the clip from Tommy Rees, the offensive coordinator for the Cleveland Browns. But before we get into that, I do ask you guys to do me a little favor. Hit the like button if you want me to cover SHEDEUR Sanders throughout the entirety of this year's offseason. Not only is OTAs kind of over right now, they might have some more practices later on, but they are about to start mandatory minicamp as well. So we're going to cover all of it, right? Whenever they practice, we got you guys covered. So make sure you guys do me a big favor and subscribe to the channel. Guys, it is free. It doesn't cost anything to join the family, anything at all. And you guys can always unsubscribe later if you want to. But I guarantee you won't regret it. A ton of SHEDEUR Sanders film analysis throughout preseason, regular season, camp, whatever it may be. We got you guys covered. So join the family for some unbiased opinions from SHEDEUR Sanders. And let me know what you think about SHEDEUR in this situation right now. With that being said, let's take a listen to what offensive coordinator Tommy Rees had to say about SHEDEUR Sanders.
He's worked his tail off. He's really putting in a lot of work, as was like all those guys are. But you can tell on the mental side of the game and learning the system and calling it and having that rhythm to it. He's put a lot of work and time and effort into that. And then when you do that, the game starts to slow down and you can focus on finding conclusions. He's done a nice job of that as camp's progressed.
And here is probably the last clip we're going to see until the start of mandatory minicamp. Another one that, you love to see. Again, quick, reactive. Got to get these things out quick, right? And we're going to break it down here. I'll show it to you one more time before we break down exactly what we're seeing from this play. But I do want to give a shout out to SHEDEUR because he seems like he's already developed a ton over the last couple of weeks in terms of just diving into the playbook and learning the system, learning his teammates. It's tough. It really is, man. But he's done it pretty quickly and he's already showcasing a lot. So right here, we're working on play action. So quarterback coaches, according to the studying I've done, they love off play action for that outside hand, or the offhand, I should say, to be tucked in, okay? They like this hand to be tucked in right here because it makes these linebackers, it makes it tougher for them to see what's happening in that backfield, to see if that ball is actually being handed off or not. So the first thing that we're looking at here is being able to sell the play action. Does a really good job. And you see 53 here, he kind of sits, right? He kind of freezes for just a second because he doesn't know, is that ball going to the running back, or are we getting a bootleg and then a flat over here by the tight end, right? And that's exactly what we're getting. We're getting that bootleg, boom, he gets the ball out quick, finds his tight end in space, and allows him to make a play, get up the field for some yardage. Now, obviously, they're not tackling. That might have been a 3-yard pickup in an actual practice. But again, just going through the motions, I'm all for it. Let me know what you guys think. The growth of these quarterbacks in terms of SHEDEUR and Dillon Gabriel have been really good. They're getting increased reps, and gotta be excited, man. Gotta be excited. Just getting started. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.